Hello friends, welcome back to our research lectures. And I know this is going to benefit most of us who are doing academic research. Now you remember the time we ended the last lecture, we said that the conceptual framework is the pivot of our research. It's going to help us to generate the topic like we saw. It is also helping us to generate it's the one where we get the statement of the problem. Now, like I promised last time, that next time we're going to be talking about how to generate research objectives from the conceptual framework. Welcome back. Remember this conceptual framework where we have the dependent variable as the employee performance, and then the independent variables as the employee engagement and employee motivation. Now, let me tell you, it is from these three variables that we are going to generate research objectives. Yes, how do we generate them? You see, the conceptual framework actually helps us to see the relationship between different variables. So therefore, let's consider those three variables. Now, the first objective would be to establish the relationship between employee engagement and employee performance, you see. And the second objective would be to establish or to examine the relationship between employee motivation and employee performance, you see. So therefore, the other one, probably if you think that employee engagement and motivation are actually related, then we say we want to examine the relationship between employee engagement and employee motivation, you see. Those are the research objectives. And actually you could also generate a third objective. To get the third objective, you combine the three variables. Maybe you want to establish the relationship between employee engagement, employee motivation, and employee performance, you see. Simply, those are the research objectives. Now people may wonder, where do we get research objectives? These are the ones that we are talking about. Let's go to the research questions. Those are the specific research objectives. Now when you want to generate the research questions, remember this time I'm not talking about the questionnaire. I'll talk about the questionnaire sometime to come. But now I'm talking about research questions. The research questions that are going to guide your investigation. Now, just turn those research objectives, which are statements, into questions. So simply, every research objective is going to become a research question. Number one will be, what is the relationship between employee engagement and employee motivation? That was objective number one, which has turned into a research question. So therefore, the second research objective, which was determining the relationship between employee motivation and employee performance, is now going to turn into a question to say, what is the relationship between employee motivation and employee performance? You see. Now the third research question would be, what is the relationship between employee engagement and employee motivation? You see, those are three research questions. But remember, we also wanted to find out the factor structure between the three variables. So then, if you want to get the fourth objective, you would ask, what is the relationship between employee engagement, employee motivation, and employee performance? Those are the four. But basically, three will serve, because the more research objectives you have, the more work you have to do even during the research work itself. So therefore, today we have been able to determine how we can get the research objectives and the research questions. From there, we shall now discuss the next step. We have got the research questions, we have got the research objectives, all from the conceptual framework. That is how important the conceptual framework is. So therefore, friends, until next time, have a good revision. God bless. I remain Mwesigo Simon, the senior lecturer. Yes.